I know that they're doing a live action of Rent.
Yeah, I know.
What do you think of Tinashe taking over the role as Mimi?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been so many, like, that's the one thing that I think is so incredible, which is what makes me so sad for Jonathan Larson, is that, you know, he died during previews, basically, right, when it was just going to Broadway and you know, moving on. And he actually, one of the key songs, I think it was Take Me or Leave Me, I think was one of the last songs that he contributed to the whole piece. So he was still sort of transforming it and changing it and adapting it, you know, when he passed, and he just never got to see what it turned into. And it's just so sad because it's, you know, it's been performed in languages all around the world, like all, you know, it's just, it's constantly performed. You know, my daughter has big curly hair. I have fantasies and dreams of her being a Mimi one day. I think it's just such a rites of passage now at this point, and you know, I'm just excited that every generation just embraces it in a whole new way and just gets it. You know, I grew up in an abandoned building in the Lower East Side, so that story in particular really resonates with me.
Yeah.
So.
Any advice for her playing that role?
Have as much fun as possible. I mean, she's doing it live. You know, I didn't do that. I had a completely, we did the film version of it, you know, and pre-recorded the songs and, you know, didn't even do every single piece of it. It was a completely different experience. So, I mean, I would ask maybe one out of the original players. I remember Tracy Toms, who played Joanne in the film, she also ended up closing out the play. Yeah. And, you know, it's like a whole other thing, but that was multiple performances. This is just the one, so I don't think I have to tell her to mind her voice or, you know. But it's going to be great. Just have as much fun as possible. And I've only done some kind of theater things. I did Shakespeare in the Park. And we did the Galt McDermott version of Two Gentlemen of Verona, so it was like in Spanglish and Shakespeare and dancing and singing and the whole thing. And I just never forget, like, you hit those moments where something goes wrong, but the audience doesn't know, so you just keep going. Like, I've literally talked to people who've done shows where they've fallen into the orchestra and got back out, and afterwards people are like, yo, that moment where you fallen, that was so great. You know, like, they think it's part of, they don't know any different. If you kind of just keep it moving, they have no idea. Or if they even notice it at all, because that's the thing. You're looking at this whole stage, you know, so wherever your focus is, some people are like, you fell into the orchestra? You're like, how did you miss that?
How did you miss it?
So it's like, it's interesting, because it's like, you know, in film you get to go, like, can I get another take? And this one, it is what it is, and you think that's going to be the worst thing possible, but it actually ends up, when something happens wrong and you keep moving past it, you feel invincible. It's actually, though, the days where something went a little off were always the ones that were just the most dynamic shows. So
true.
just have fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You're so lovely.
Thank you.
Awesome.